My child, this moment is not accidental. Do not move past it. You stopped while many kept scrolling. Among countless voices, you chose to listen. You may see this as a small pause, but it carries weight. In God's presence, attention is never insignificant. If you could see what may be unfolding as you stay, you would feel the weight of this moment. What seems ordinary becomes sacred when your heart is open. So listen now. Truth does not need to shout, but it must be received. This moment matters. Many miss what could change them, not from rebellion, but from distraction and weariness. But you are still here, and because you are still here, something can begin quietly, gently, and in the right time. They move past moments that could have redirected their lives, unaware of what slipped through their hands. But you did not move on, you stayed. You chose to open instead of passing by. And because of that choice, you have stepped into alignment with what God is already doing ahead of you. You may not sense it fully yet, but listening has begun to prepare the ground for what comes next. Beloved, this did not happen by chance. It was intentional. Your attention was gently drawn here, your pace slowed, your focus held. Others walked away without knowing what was near them, without recognizing what was quietly offered. But you remained. And remaining is never neutral, it carries consequence. Scripture reminds us, "Be still and know that I am God." Stillness creates space for God to work in ways you cannot force. Understand this clearly. Staying is not weakness, and it is not delay. Staying is a response. It is a quiet yes, spoken before understanding catches up. Do not dismiss this moment or promise yourself you will return later. Sacred intersections rarely arrive with spectacle. They come softly, asking only for your attention, and you answered. What you are stepping into carries the power to redirect your life, not through pressure, but through alignment. Because you are here, what comes next does not have to look like what came before. You may wonder why this moment feels weighty, even though nothing dramatic has unfolded yet. That quiet pull is not empty. It is guided by God's intention. Here is why. A life is not shaped only by grand choices, but by subtle responses. Futures rarely turn in loud displays. More often, they shift in silence, when someone listens instead of scrolling, remains instead of rushing, opens instead of ignoring. That is the choice you just made. Whoever is faithful in little is faithful also in much. You chose presence over distraction, for movement beyond what you can see. What begins quietly can carry lasting change. Hold this close for a moment. Don't rush past what is rising within you. You have been seeking, even when you lacked the words to explain it. A quiet unrest has lived within you. If this moment spoke to your heart, let it be known, leave a comment, and share what you felt. Support this space by liking, sharing, and subscribing, so more messages like this can reach those who need them. You have been seeking, even when you lacked the words to explain it. A quiet unrest has lived within you, a sense that more is waiting, a gentle hunger for clarity, direction, and peace. Questions rose in the silence, where no one else could hear them. I heard them. The Lord is near to the brokenhearted. I see what you carry, the recurring thoughts, the guarded hope you've learned to protect after disappointment. This moment is not separate from those longings. It is connected. It is part of an answer forming. Many pass by what could restore them because they've learned to move fast, to consume without listening, to leave without receiving. Distraction has become familiar. Stillness feels strange. Yet you paused, and that pause matters. It reveals a heart that remains tender, a spirit still willing to listen, a soul not sealed shut by what it endured. You may not call yourself different, but difference often appears quietly, like noticing what others miss, like feeling drawn to stay when others feel the urge to leave. You are set apart not because you stand above others, but because your heart remains open. That kind of openness is uncommon, and I always respond to it. Understand this clearly. Nothing about this moment is wasted. Even if you cannot yet explain why you paused or name what drew you here, know that I am fully aware. I move in ways that are not always understood at first. I sow before fruit appears. I arrange direction before you can see the path. What matters now is this: you are here, attentive, present, and receptive. That matters more than certainty. There is purpose in my asking you to remain, not to hold you back, but to place something into your hands. When sacred moments are rushed past, the weight people carry often stays the same. But when you remain, even briefly, something begins to loosen. Perspective shifts, calm finds space. Insight starts to rise quietly, gradually, just enough to take the next step forward. I am not here to weigh you down, but to steady you. You are not late, you are not unseen, you are not as far off as you sometimes believe. The fact that you are listening now is a sign that hope is still alive and your path is not finished. The door is not shut, it is opening wider because you chose to remain. Let your heart ease for a moment. You do not have to prove yourself or solve everything at once. Simply stay present. Let these words meet you where you truly are, not where you think you should be. I meet honesty, not perfection. I meet willingness, not strength. Many pass by moments like this without noticing. They may never realize what slipped away, but you are here, and that matters. Not by chance, but by awareness. A heart that still responds can be guided, guarded, and reshaped. Take this in slowly. Let it settle deep within you. You did not come across this moment by coincidence. You were not drifting, nor acting on passing curiosity. Before your hand moved, before your eyes lingered, before your thoughts chose to stay, this moment was already known to me. I saw it ahead of time. I shaped it before you became aware of it. I drew you here with intention because timing carries meaning, and this timing is precise. It is easy to think life is made of insignificant fragments, a pause, a click, a few seconds of focus. But I do not measure time as you do. No moment is wasted, no encounter is misplaced, nothing collides without purpose. When a moment like this aligns with your life, it is because something within you was ready to hear, even if your mind had not named it yet. You have passed many moments before without stopping. This one held you. You felt the pull, even without explanation. That pull was not chance, it was alignment, a quiet confirmation rising before your thoughts could argue. Your spirit responded before your thoughts could interrupt. It was a quiet knowing that this moment carried weight. Divine timing is not distant or mysterious. It is personal and purposeful in God's hands. It is the meeting place where your readiness touches my invitation. It is where inner hunger meets a gentle call, where the noise softens just enough for you to hear. That is what happened here. You did not wander into this moment. It was written into your path long before you recognized it. I knew your heart, how you would feel, how you would respond when truth came softly, not loudly. And I knew there would be seasons when you rushed like others, when life felt too heavy to pause, when disappointment taught you to guard yourself. Yet even then, this moment was waiting. If this moment resonated with you, don't let it pass in silence. Share in the comments what you felt or what this message awakened within you. Support this space by liking, sharing, and subscribing so these moments of clarity and alignment can continue reaching hearts that are ready to listen. And that is why I am speaking this now, because moments like this do come, and they matter. I knew there would be moments like this, not because life felt settled, but because something within you remained open. That openness is rare. Many protect themselves by rushing, by staying distracted, by avoiding stillness, because stillness can ache when you've been hurt or worn down, yet you stopped. That speaks. It tells me your heart did not shut down, even after all you've carried. It tells me you are still listening, and that matters more than you think. You may see your pause as small, but it uncovered something precious: sensitivity, awareness, a readiness to receive rather than rush past. These are not loud traits, yet they carry great power. My sheep hear my voice, and I know them, and they follow me. These are the qualities I move through most deeply. A heart that pauses can be guided. A spirit that listens can be led. A soul that remains can be changed. Many encounter moments like this. Few stop. Many hear, few listen. Many feel a nudge, few respond. You responded, not perfectly, not with full clarity, but with willingness. And that is why this moment exists. Willingness opens doors that understanding alone never can. I am not here to pressure you or hurry you forward. I am here to steady you. Your life is not drifting. Even when direction feels unclear, even when you wonder if you are behind, careful work is still unfolding. Moments are still being aligned. Invitations are still being placed before you, and this is one of them. I know the season you are walking through. I know the weight you carry, the questions that rise when everything grows quiet, the fears you set aside just to keep going. I know the hope you guard because disappointment has visited you before. This moment was shaped with all of that in mind. It meets you where you truly are, not where you think you should be. You did not need more strength to receive this. You did not need more certainty, confidence, or clarity. You only needed presence, and you are here. That is enough. I want you to see this moment through a new lens, not as something you discovered, but as something that quietly found you. It was arranged gently, without pressure, so your choice would be free. What appeared ordinary carried intention. What felt small held meaning. When you stopped instead of scrolling, you acted with a courage few recognize. In a world trained to rush, stillness requires strength. In a culture addicted to noise, listening is power. This moment is not meant to change everything at once. It is meant to begin something. Beginnings rarely announce themselves. They arrive quietly, easy to overlook, yet deeply significant. Release the belief that destiny only moves through dramatic events. It often turns through small choices made with an open heart, the choice to pause, to listen, to stay. These are the moments I build upon. You may leave this place facing the same responsibilities and challenges, but something within you has already shifted. Awareness has softened you, perspective has widened. That inner change will shape what comes next more than you realize. You are not asked to understand everything now. Understanding grows with time. What matters is trust. Trust that you are here on purpose, that this moment is not wasted. Distraction rarely arrives loudly. It slips in gently, disguised as routine, slowly pulling attention away until hearts forget how to listen. Many pass by what could have changed them, not from rejection, but from exhaustion. But you noticed. You paused. You stayed. That choice matters. Presence can open doors that distraction often keeps closed. And now, because you responded, you are positioned to receive what comes next. I want to speak to what sets you apart, not to place you above anyone, but to help you recognize the gift within you. You are different, not because you are better, but because you are willing to listen, willing to pause, willing to feel what others have learned to numb, willing to stay when others rush by. That willingness is rare, and it matters. You carry a sensitive spirit. You may have sensed this long before you had words for it. You notice what others miss. You feel deeply. You sense shifts that go unspoken. At times, this sensitivity felt heavy, even inconvenient. You may have wished you could harden yourself like others seem to do. But hear this clearly, your sensitivity is not weakness, it is a doorway. Many learn to shut parts of themselves down after being hurt or disappointed. They became busy, loud, distracted, numb. Over time, they stopped noticing the quiet voice, not because it disappeared, but because their hearts stopped listening. You did not do that. Even when life tried to harden you, something in you resisted. Even when hope was tested, you kept it alive. Being different has not always been easy. You may have felt out of place or misunderstood. You may have tried to move faster, feel less, blend in. Yet every time you silenced what was placed in you, restlessness followed. That restlessness was not failure, it was your spirit reminding you who you are. You were not made to rush. You were shaped with a listening heart, because listening creates depth, alignment, and relationship. When others hurry past moments, you feel the pull to pause. That is design. Attentiveness is quiet, but it is powerful. Those who rush rarely see. Those who stay often do. Release comparison. You are not behind because you move differently. You are not lacking because your path is quieter. You are not weak because you feel deeply. What you carry is discernment, and discernment grows in hearts that listen before reacting. Speed is not direction. Noise is not clarity. Slowness has protected you more than you know. What truly sets you apart is that you still hunger. Hunger keeps hearts alive. Many filled theirs with distraction and called it satisfaction. You did not settle for noise. You wanted what was real. That hunger is what made you pause. It is what brought you here, and because you honored it, you are positioned to receive more. Being different does not mean being alone. You are not isolated. You are accompanied. I walk with those who listen. I reveal myself to those who stay. Do not believe the lie that something is wrong with you. What you could not ignore was my presence reaching you. You were never meant to lose yourself in the noise of the crowd, but to walk faithfully in step with God. There will be moments when that difference feels costly, when you are tempted to numb or rush just to fit in. Remember this: what makes you different is what keeps you alive, listening, and open to what comes next. I am not asking you to become someone else. I am inviting you to honor who you already are. The sensitivity, the listening heart, the hunger you protect, these are not flaws to erase. They are gifts to guard. You stayed when others passed by, and because of that, you are standing where many never arrive. I call many. My voice moves quietly across lives, through subtle nudges, restless thoughts, moments that ask not to be ignored. Many hear that whisper. Many sense the pull. But hearing is not the same as answering, and feeling is not the same as staying. Being called is common. Responding is rare. I say this with clarity, not regret. I am always inviting. I never force a response. I do not chase attention or compete with noise. I wait for willingness, for hearts that pause long enough to listen. In this moment, you did that. You responded. You may not know why you stopped or what held you here, and that does not diminish the power of your choice. Many of the most meaningful decisions begin before understanding arrives quietly, without certainty, made by hearts willing to say, I don't know why, but I will stay. Many feel what you felt and still move on. Fear interrupts. Distraction speaks louder. Doubt questions. They promise themselves later, and later fades away. They were called, but they did not respond. I remain patient with them. Yet there are moments when timing is precise and alignment, exact moments that must be met to be received. You met one of those moments. Your response did not need to be loud or impressive. It only needed to be sincere. You did not answer with performance or proof. You answered with openness. And openness is the posture through which I have always chosen to work. Trust grows this way when someone leans in instead of pulling back, stays present instead of rushing on. That willingness, that attentiveness, that receptivity, this is the doorway through which guidance, peace, and transformation enter. Father God, I come before you with an open heart. You see me fully, my questions, my weariness, my quiet hopes. I thank you for drawing me into this moment and teaching me to pause and listen. Help me remain present when distraction calls, and soft when life tempts me to harden. Guide my steps with your wisdom, steady my heart with your peace, and align my path with your purpose. I trust you with what I cannot yet see, and I place my future gently in your hands, trusting your will above my own. Amen. If this message resonated with you, you may quietly reflect on it and carry it with you.